What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. So today's video is going to be why you cannot deadlift 500 pounds. So first of all, number one, we got 5 things that we're going to talk about today. We're not going to sugarcoat stuff. We're not even going to salt coat stuff. What the hell does that even mean? I don't know. This is Oliver. That's my puppy. If you don't got a dog, go get one. Oli! Oli! Oh my gosh. My microphone got stuck to his back. All right, so we're going to stop screwing around now. How did it get going to his fur? All right. The number one thing is you suck at deadlifts. You just suck at deadlifts. I don't know. Like, you might be thinking, dang, 1 minute in, this guy's a jerk. No, you just might not be that great at deadlifts. A lot of it has to do with the way you're built. Do you have a big back? Do you have a small back? Do you have long arms, short arms? Are your femurs long? Are they short? Are you naturally strong? Whatever it is, you might not be good at deadlifts. Does that mean you can't get good at deadlifts? Yes. No, it doesn't mean that. Of course not. Number 2, you're new at lifting. If you're under a year of lifting, I would recommend probably do not put 500 pounds on your radar. All right. I have very few people. I have a female right now, Mercedes, that she's at like 475. I got a kid. He's 18-year-old. He just hit 405. I got a guy that's 40-year-old. He just hit 440. I got a guy that I used to train. After about a year and a half, he hit 500. So 1 to 2 years training length, I think most people should be able to hit 500, probably more closer to that 200 or that 2-year mark. Just understand it just takes time. Like, it just takes time. You might be some genetic freak or something like that, or randomly really strong or something, and if you start around 400, 450, you're probably going to hit 500 pretty fairly quick. But that's not everybody. I would say 1 out of 10 guys usually, I see something like that. So it's not super common. Oh, sorry. Next thing is you do random stuff, like random lifts constantly. You go, I don't know why I'm not deadlifting 500. And I'm like, well, what do you do? And you're like, well, last week, I went in the gym and I hit a couple sets of 3 for like 315. And I'm like, oh, like a couple, how many? And you're like, I don't know. I think it was like 2 or 3. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well, when's the last time you deadlift? I think about a month ago. What the fuck are you talking about? If you ask me how many fucking times I deadlift right now, if you said, Jonathan, how many times did you deadlift? I'm going to go get my notebook. I'm going to tell you. Well, first of all, I deadlift every single fucking week. Every single fucking week for like, shit. At least the last 4 or 5 fucking years. So that's 52 times. So I've deadlifted minimum. And I used to deadlift multiple times a week being an idiot. Absolute freaking idiot. I would deadlift constantly. And that is a bad idea. You get hormonal issues and you can't walk right and all kinds of stuff. So I don't recommend more than heavy deadlifts once a week. But if you're not tracking them, you're dumb. All right? You got to at least grab a fucking notebook and say, hey, I'm doing deadlifts and I'm going to do, 3 sets of 3. Fine. 315. Cool. Next week, I'm going to try to do the same thing. Maybe I'm going to do 335 for 3 sets of 3 or something like that. Whatever it is that you come up with, you want to be progressing or at least knowing what the fuck's going on each week. Okay? Number 4, you're dieting fucking endlessly. All right? That's super important. Oliver, are you dieting? Kinda. He was a little chunky when I got him. Says the 310-pound guy. Says the 310-pound guy. Come here. Where's your cameo? Come on. Up. Come here. Come here. Come here. Anyway, Don't diet endlessly, okay? You can, and that's okay. But understand that if you're doing that, you're not in a good position to pull heavy weight all the time. And I'm not saying you need to be bulking or anything like that, but you need to be at minimum in maintenance calories, or you're going to have a significantly hard time. Shh. No, he's going like this while talking to me. Number 5, you are mentally weak as fuck. And that sounds mean. I realize that. But I will say, and I'm not saying this from like a let me be honest with you in like heart-to-heart conversation real quick. Powerlifting in its entirety is not a sport for the faint of heart, and it's not like you have to be some hardcore crazy person or something like that. You can compete in powerlifting and get significantly okay gains on a regular basis without really being like mentally crazy or strong or anything like that. You can get good results. I think to push it to a 500-pound deadlift for an average guy, not somebody that's already really good, but an average guy, somebody that starts out at like 225 or 275 or maybe even 315. I do think you have to work on a little bit of mental toughness. What that means is you're not skipping workouts. If you're skipping fucking workouts, first of all, stop fucking deadlifting. Like, this is not, you're going to end up hurting yourself. Just fucking walk away. Go to Planet Fitness, jump on the treadmill 3 times a week. Make sure you don't stay on the lunk alarm and don't be a puss. Whatever. To each their own. But if you're really, really, really thinking about 5, 6, 7, 800-pound deadlifts or anything like that, and you want to get better at stronger, maybe you want to take state records, maybe you want to go to nationals, maybe you want to go to worlds, maybe you have aspirations of those type, and I think those are great aspirations to have. What I mean specifically, if you are on that type of level mentally, like you have those type of goals, I'm going to be honest with you from the deepest depths of my soul right now. When I come in sometimes, it could be like a certain variation. It could be like a front squat got me there mentally for a while, and front squats at like 400 plus pounds, they were just excruciatingly mentally fucking draining. Like just pulling me down mentally and physically. Like, I do front squats with safety squat bar flipped around and turned upside down because the pad doesn't hurt my shoulders. Another one is squats. A lot of the times when you come in and you got to put, 500-600 pounds on your back and on a regular basis, and you just had a fucking hard day, or people are just giving you all these excuses in life and just all these things, it's going to take a certain level of mental toughness to go in the gym and be like, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do everything I can to do a little bit better and actually show up to a meet and do better than you did last time. Like, there are a lot of powerlifters that do a 4-week cycle once every 2 years, and they're like, I hope I PR. I'm like, when was your last meet? And they're like, well, I do one every couple years. If you're a competitive powerlifter, you're scheduling out probably 2 to 3 meets a year. 2 if you're a little bit better. Some guys are 1 meet. But realistically, understand that this is going to take a certain level of mental aptitude. And I'm not saying that because I'm like holier than thou or I'm stronger mentally or anything like that. But it's going to be tough. And that is the single most important thing. Understanding that there's going to be days where you're thinking about 500 and maybe days, I would say, if you're in the 3 range, worry about 4. If you're in the 4 range, worry about 5. Like, don't try to think about something that's so far away a lot of the times. Just think about, your next 10 pounds or something like that. It can be more glorifying because say you wanted to lift 600 pounds and you got to 590 in your career, then you feel like shit about yourself. How about if you started at 315 and you got to 590? Holy shit, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of weight. So be proud of yourself. All right, some honorable mentions, some things that can help you get there. Make sure when you are deadlifting, take your shoes off. Make sure you're eating before you deadlift. Sometimes I eat while I'm deadlifting. Obviously, look at this. I have cheek ear fat now. I have fat, right? Yeah, that's great. Sleep. Make sure you're sleeping. People are convinced that I don't sleep, but I do. I sleep about 5 to 6 hours in the middle of the night, and then an hour, half hour, hour during the day, maybe once or twice a day. Ammonia, an audience helps if you do your deadlifts in front of people. When it gets heavy, mix your grip. One hand over, one hand under. That'll help you really lift heavier weights. And then accessories. I think a lot of people think you just go in and deadlift all the time. A lot of the times, that's what I post because it's just the showy stuff. Nobody gives a fucking shit about watching me do leg curls over and over. It's just boring and monotonous, and I could probably leg curl your mom, and nobody gives a flying fuck about that. They really don't. There are a lot of things that I would recommend, but it really depends on kind of what you suck at. I can't just say, oh, leg curls is a great accessory. Well, maybe not. Like, maybe you don't need to do leg curls. Maybe your fucking leg curls are great. Maybe you need to do GHRs. Maybe you need to do good mornings because your spinal erectors are fucking weak. Maybe you need to do hip extensions because you get stuck at the knee. Or you can't lock a weight out, so maybe you need to do some upper back work. It just depends. I can't really say. If you do need help with training or anything like that, please feel free to message me. I am still letting this offer stand. If you train with me online or in person for a minimum of 6 months, I charge $300 a month online. So if you train online with me, what is that? An $1,800 investment? $1,800 investment. I'll fly to anywhere in the world and walk you through your entire first powerlifting meet as your coach. And I will actually pay for your meet. Okay? I'll fly myself. So I'm not really getting anything out of it other than I just want to see you be successful. You guys, be stronger than your excuses. Have a good day. Just work on the mental fortitude. Don't miss sessions. But listen to your body. If you tweak something or something, you don't need to go in there and do a session. Make sure you're doing things smart but safe, but don't be weak-minded. Have a good day, guys. Bye.